Joining me for this CEO Spotlight is Gary Wojtaszek, President and CEO of CyrusOne. Gary, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, thanks for having me again.
Now, can you start by giving us a sense of what you call the digital tsunami and the impact of the cloud, in particular, the amount of real estate that's needed to keep up with this tsunami of demand?
I feel like I'm on the same hamster wheel every time we talk about this explosion in data, but it is a really big phenomenon that's currently going on. We've been talking about this tsunami, and if you think about in your life all the different connected devices that are becoming more and more interconnected in your life, whether it's Nest systems, whether it's social media, any of those devices are just creating an inordinate amount of data. And this has been building for some time, but what we're looking at over the next 5 years is an increase of 500% in terms of the number of connected devices. So every time a device gets connected to the internet, more data gets created, and this is building. It's been building for a really long time, and that's what we refer to as that digital tsunami. To give you some perspective, our view is eventually there will be a video image of your life from the time you were born to the time you go in the grave, and it's a day in the life of Matt, right? And my life is going to be pretty boring if anyone wants to spend the time to look at that. But to give you some sense, if everyone in the country had that digital image of their life today, that would require about 9 million computer racks of space, which is about 200 million square feet of data center space to store all that, to give you some perspective in terms of what's the size of this box. So, clearly we're not going to get there overnight, but it's a really big number, and we know it's coming, and it'll be on shore in a couple of years.
Well, with all that demand, not surprising, CyrusOne just completed one of its best ever leasing quarters. How does the structure of data center leases compare to those in other retail sectors in terms of length, terms, anything like that?
The biggest trend that we've been seeing in our business is as customers become more and more comfortable with outsourcing their mission critical infrastructure to us, the lease terms have increased. So we IPO'd almost 4 years ago. At that time, our average lease duration was about 2.5 years. In our portfolio, we're currently up to about 5 years. The average lease signings since then has been about 10 years on average, and we expect that should increase probably closer to 15 years.
And lastly, do you see the company's portfolio growth to be driven more by acquisitions or development in the near future? What are the reasons for that? And are there specific markets or regions where you're looking to expand?
We are spending, roughly about $650 million of capital this year building out our business organically, so on a development basis. We also had probably about another $140 million of M&A in there, so pretty heavy CapEx program. So predominantly, and has been the case since inception of the company, we've been growing organically, and we supplement that through M&A if it makes strategic sense and it meets our financial hurdles on that. So we're focused right now in the U.S. building out an additional presence in the Southeast and in the West Coast. So we're currently here in Phoenix. For those of you who want to come out for a tour of our data center here. But we're looking to go further on the West Coast. We just took down some property in Washington State, where there's really cheap power. We'll probably do something in Northern California, and then we'll be somewhere in the Southeast, Atlanta and Florida, and then we'll be done in this country.
And does that mean looking more internationally after that point?
Absolutely. Data by its nature is global, and our customers are Fortune 500 companies which are global. So in order to take advantage of the global needs of data and our customers' needs, we have to go international as well.
Gary, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
For more from REITWorld 2016, be sure to visit REIT.com.